Miss Munoz, we forgot about Dee Dee's review today. Miss Munoz, we forgot about Dee Dee's review today.
Huh?
We forgot about Dee Dee's review today.
I was at the school.
No, I forgot. Well, I forgot about it. Maybe you didn't, but I did.
You don't have a reminder?
Uh, it was in the calendar, but I guess I didn't have my phone. I was in the backyard trying to pick up stuff and stuff, so I just forgot. And then I went to go pick up some stuff for someone's fishing trip, man.
Oh, so the fishing expeditions have started?
Kinda, yeah. It's supposed to start tomorrow.
Okay, that's good. So what time are they leaving?
Uh, this is a question that can't be answered.
Okay, so are you gonna go or am I gonna go?
Oh, okay. I thought you were set up. You must have not have heard me. How can I say since you're on, you'll be set up so you can go.
I thought that you said, like, we'll figure it out. I
So
didn't hear
yeah,
that part.
to go, and then I was like talking, but you had hung up. I was saying, well, since you're already on, then you can get set up to go.
All right, I didn't hear that part, but okay.
Well, you did say you would go, so you hung up on me. That's why you didn't hear it. So I was just like, all right. Oh man. And you're good at going quicker than me for some reason. Like I kind of like I seem to like be more long-winded for some reason. I think I talk too slow. Okay, we're doing orange today. What's this fresh pattern? Okay, I hope you're not talking, right?
Yes, I was talking, but I didn't know I was on mute. Okay, sorry about that, folks. So, as I was saying, the winner of today was Fresh Pet, and they were close to 10.5%. And they had wonderful earnings because they were supposed to be losing money projected, but now they're all of a sudden not losing money, and it was 268% better than expected. So people are buying fresh pet food uh, left and right, according to this, up and down the aisles. So that's fresh pet for you guys. The second loser or second winner was Wayfair. It's at an upward squeeze trajectory. And so any of these will be doing well, which is bad for me because I have them. going short, and Americana broke off. So Save had some earnings, and as you can see, oh, this is open. As you can see from today's trade, Americana just went crazy. And I thought it would go the opposite way because Save had bad earnings, but I guess it was good. For Americana, if I would have stayed, I would have made money up the yin yang, but I got out at the pre-market. DraftKings also was a winner today, and Caro, this one had earnings the other day, is on hard buy, and you can see it broke out from this, almost got to this level. And they didn't have the best of earnings, but it could be also a squeeze play. And this is true with anything that's bad, because even Peloton, even though they had bad earnings and had a downgrade, it's at an upward trajectory. So any of the bad stocks will be going up. Um, let's see. NVDA had a great day, 3%. So starting to stabilize here on this level. Sorry, that's Stash. I meant to put NVDA. So like we had mentioned before, this is that's why it's very dangerous. Remember I told you I wasn't convinced truly, and I was right, because I said, hey, even though this thing is kind of going down, it could flip on you. And that's exactly what it did, because this is the darling of the show in the market. So basically now it's back to 915. If you got this dip, it was a good opportunity. And now it's starting to go back up, and it could potentially get back to this high or even hit the 1,000 level, which they had mentioned before. So on a down day, if you have this, or when it goes back down, try to get out or whatever. Meta, META, going up consistently, even though on earnings it gapped down. So again, NASDAQ is taking back the losses and going back to the highs. But it's still below the 50 period, so we shall see, because usually Mondays they do well. Mondays the market overall does well. Tesla, again, trying to be in this consolidated mode every day. It has been around this area, and as I mentioned, I thought my prediction is that it's going to be trading between 200 and 170 or so. It's going to be in a range. And of course, everything, like we said, did well, but it was more at the beginning of the day, especially for Tesla. Then it went down. So this would have been a great short from here to here, and then a pick me up at the later half of the dia. Microsoft, also known as Softy for us. Wow, this was a great long, and even though it's caving down a little bit for tomorrow, it was a great long. Any point in here in this double bottom or triple bottom would have been great to get, and held it throughout the day.
You see how Tesla kind of does the opposite now of the tech stocks like Google and stuff like that. Like Tesla was all like it's just not the same. Usually they're the same, but Tesla's like tanking and softy.
Yes,
You know, that's what I'm finding is that like if you want something that will go against, just kind of like if you're going good with Microsoft, do the opposite with Tesla now. At least
yes.
that's
So
what I'm doing
so
recently.
here's, so here's the prediction of Leanna. What Leanna's saying is this went up and then went down, but when you look at Softy, this was kind of down and then went up. So yes, complete opposite directions, especially at the beginning of the day. Banks, doing well today. Today also was like if it went down, you got it at the low down here for the first 10, let's see, 15 minutes, and then basically was along for most of the day. On a daily, banks, like I said before, I wasn't convinced totally that it was going to be a short. So again, here it is. Because it's still really good above the 50 period, and it looks like it's just stepping up as the trend. So I think it will eventually hit that $40 mark. And we can look at it again here. Here it is. So here's the $38 mark, which it kind of rejected, but it's going back up. And then the next one would be here at the $40 mark or so. Zoning, they were trading this today. The bozos, as you can see, looking very well. Steady stock, managed well. You can't go wrong. So basically it did a V. If you got it down here, great job. And, picked back right up. And here's at almost at all-time highs again. And you can see this is a kind of a rejection point, but because it's going to hit it a couple of times, you would expect a breakout on this. So this could be a potential long at some point once it hits that 190 mark. Nikete under $100. Still going down. And it's below the 50 period. And I think it's gonna be below, it's gonna get to 90 again at some point. So just wait for it because the trend is still saying, don't get it yet. CVNA, it's at $122.79. Yeah, you should get this when it hits that $125 mark and short it. Lucid, I believe this has had earnings today, and let's see how it did. So they lost money worse than expected by 20%, and it's on hard buy. And basically it was just, even though it had bad earnings, it was aftermarket. So here's the result. Basically, if you got this at the end of the market, it just plummeted to 281. So from 310 to 281 would have been a great short. Google, very similar to Softy or Amazon. I think it's very similar to Softy, right? Well, this is similar to Tesla here, where it bounced back up, then went down, and then went back up. So it pulled out like a Tesla slash a combination of Tesla and Softy. Let's look at Softy here. Yeah, sort of a combination. But yes, Google was more in the beginning similar to Tesla, where it picked up at the beginning and then it crashed after 10:30, around 10. And it picked up really good in the aftermarket. Beyond Meat, sorry, Macy's. Let's look at Macy's. Basically a good short at the beginning, but then it picked up a little bit after the 11 o'clock hour. Well, so that's Beyond Meat. I thought I was looking at Macy's. There it is, Macy's. A great short at the popped up and crashed down. So it basically stayed all the way below a VWAP. It didn't really move that much, but more at the beginning of the day. And it was consistent. So here it is. Here's the 50 period line. It picked up the last couple of days, but this doji candle wasn't very convincing. Basically, it stayed at that level most of the day. So, you could kind of figure because it wasn't that strong, it could come back down. Target is at 158.35. So now it's starting to slowly come back to life below, it's starting to rotate. So from this $180 mark, it has been going down. So I guess ever since earnings, where it did a little bit of a pick me up, it started to go down. It's below the 50 as well. Intel, $30.95 was the last print. Trend is very down, very negativo. We had demarked $30 as an area where it would bounce, and it sure did. It did bounce up from there, Leanna. So you were right. It did bounce up, but it's still kind of sort of weako. But the last 3 days, well, the trend itself is weak, but the last 3 days have been sort of strong. So you were right about that $30 mark. Ever since it hit that $30 mark, it has been consistently going arriba. So here's the $30 mark. And the last couple of days, it's just been stepping up a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to go over the losers of the day. Sam. Anybody have Sam? Walgreens, Boeing. Here's the darling, the favorito of everybody.
Yeah, Sam.
Here you go. So it looks like it doesn't like this area right here at 177. It's starting to do
Munoz.
a little. Yes.
When you talk about anybody like Sam or something, have Sam.
It's being sarcastic, Leanna. I'm being sarcastic.
Okay.
Yes, we both have Samuel Adams, and including someone else in here has it.
Okay.
So the last week or so, it has been positive for Sam, but it looks like today, even with the strong market, it was kind of like, yeah, it's strong, but something happened around, what time was this? 3 o'clock?
Something like that.
Okay, so something happened that, or some bad news or something, which is not surprising. It made it drop like a cannonball. So, this is why Boeing is very untrustworthy,
Well, I've been
because
thinking it was coming down.
so it could come back down to reality, and that 160 is what we're aiming for. And we had demarked it, but we didn't get in it because we didn't trust it. And based on these plays right here, that's why we don't trust it, because all of a sudden everything's going good, and then boom, the rug has been pulled under you and you're flat on your butt. DLTR, aka Dollar Tree, was a fabulous short according to this diagram. And according to this, a higher level diagram is saying it's a short until it's not. So here's the level base that we have demarked as 114 or so to probably get into this level, and see if we'll get there so you can go long at some point. Mickey D's starting to continue in this little range bound trading, but the trend is going down. Again, we would like this area below here. Let's see if it gets there. It had decent earnings, of course, because people buy McDonald's whether they want it or not. It's how it is. So Apple, The last couple of days after earnings have been very negative. It did this gap up, but it's saying, well, we're not going to continue. It's saying, let's reject this level over here because maybe things under the hood are not as it should be. And that was kind of like us trying to bring up the stocko because we still want people to continue buying it. So even though it had, I don't know why this is acting up. So even though the market was strong, you can see based on this figure here that it was better to short Apple than go long with the market because basically everything was below VWAP. The reversal was around 145, but it didn't get above VWAP at any time during the day. So this flag is extended it, but now it's kind of withering, if you ask me. Here it picked up a little bit, but the flag itself is kind of breaking down. So let's see if it continues to be above this level or so, then maybe we can be convinced that it's going to continue to go up. Time will tell us. And I think that's it. Unless anybody has some specific stocks that they want to look at. We didn't look at XOM. And just for comparison reasons, we'll also look at, what's the other one? XOM. And I forget. I'll think of it later. Oops. Chevron. Okay, that's what I was thinking of. So here's XOM is doing a little pick me up. I heard on the news that gas prices have been increasing and have been continually going up. So maybe this was the spike, for this today. And this was also a very good long, especially if you got it back here in this level where it dipped down and you got it, and then maybe got out here. A good short also at the end of the day. So basically, if you got it at the beginning of the day, sold it here, maybe went down and bought it back up, sold it, and then short it, you would have done very good. Muy
Yeah,
bien.
I know. XOM, they seem to like a lot of times go up during the middle of the day, whereas other stocks tend to go down. So it's something I've noticed with XOM that like you can sometimes um wait till like later in the day before it will start really moving a lot. Like maybe wait till 9:30 or 10. I'm sorry, like you can wait till like 10:30, 11 before it actually really starts moving a lot. It's just something, just food for
Oh,
thought
there it is. I got it. I got it. CVX.
that it gets its wings. It gets its wings sometimes a little bit, later, like it will move a little and then maybe continue to move during the midday, whereas others will be kind of turning around sometimes. It's just
Man,
I
Chevron is very expensive now. I remember the stock being cheapo. So here's Chevron. It wasn't as volatile as XOM. Basically, was a great long. Really kept its humility above VWAP. It kind of broke down maybe after one, but for half of the day it was strongo. Then it was just like breaking down like crazy. And then it stabilized at the end of the day. If we look at Chevron on a daily, if you got it over here at this price, it has been picking up. So it's been going up steady, not crazy, but just kind of stepping very consistent up. So The earnings, I guess, must have been good. 9.33% and 2.93%. So yes, good earnings. It's positivo. Any questions, any comments, any thoughts? Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Will be greatly appreciated. We also have, let's see what any news here. Maybe we can find real quick something that disrupted Boeing from and it crashed it again. Or I can just search real quick for Boeing. See if there's any news. Okay, so let's see. American Airlines CEO Robert as okay. So yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything that pops up here as to why Boeing would just crash like that. So
At
because
least
here
Kaka.
here here it is. It was like all of a sudden nice and steady, you know, just going up, and then it's like boom, like chocolate, get out.
Kaka. It
So so I don't know what to tell you folks, but you know, it's untrustworthy, and you should be careful and get it, make sure you get it at the levels.
people have been holding it up, and even the replacement, their own freaking CEO that's leaving is trying to take a golden parachute money bag and steal money that the
Yeah.
board is like voting against. It's like they're firing your arse. Why are you trying to like take all this extra money out the door when they're firing you and you did a crappy job? And then the person you're trying to hire is another crappy business person instead of getting like an engineering person on the job. So it's obviously why they've just been holding this caca up. And I think the final draw is that like people are seeing like
Yo
they
no comí
don't
nada.
want you to just get out of the stock,
I did
regular
not
people.
eat the candy today. Yo no comí nada hoy.
They don't want regular people out of the stock, but they can't just like let it drip, 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 drip down or whatever. So they wait until last minute so they can take their money or whatever. But I'm telling you, um it's just a con game what they're doing. Yes, the stock is gonna be a good stock long term, but I really think that I just really think Boeing's not there yet. And I'm hoping that they reconsider this new CEO that they have, or a CEO that they're proposing. Yeah, 'cause what I've heard about her is that it's just not the right individual. You need a solid engineer with engineering and quality and safety background. End of discussion. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thank you folks for tuning in, and hit the like, hit the subscribe. Boop, boop.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You kind of helped me out today. I was just weaker, so gracias.
Adios.
Peace.
Yeah, adios.